police. You're a dummy. You're the police. Go catch the guy who put acid in people's face. What do you mean to the police? You dumbass. Yeah. You put fucking my baby mama in jail. Bro, clown world. Clown world. We live in a joke. We live in a clown world. I don't think people understand that every single thing that you believe in at home, the medical system, the judicial system, the financial system, the educational system, you name a system, it's a joke. The shit they teach in school's a joke. The money's not real. Law's not real. It's all a big clown show. It's a circus. All of it. And they're the things you rely on. You need these things. You need them to educate your kids. You need the money to be worth something. You need the law to be fair. And it's all a scam. All of it's a scam.
It's like life as we know it is a scam.
It's a scam. Yeah. And then you sit down and go, okay, well, if that's true, what do we have left? What do we do, Andrew? And I go back to my original answer. You need brothers who will die beside you because that's all life's ever been. When things get hard, and when I say hard, I mean really hard, the best thing you're going to have is a brother who will die beside you. Your woman can give you emotional support, but she can't do much else. When things get difficult, women often become a burden. If you're walking down the street and a terrorist attack happens, heaven forbid, you'll wish you weren't with a chick. Because being with a chick now, come on, let's go, go. And you have to carry her, right? Because they're slow and they're like, oh, my heels, and they're a fucking nightmare. You have to look after them. If you're with your boy, bro, shit, you feel better.
Yeah.
You feel better.
Straight on site.
You're on site, yeah. Men help you. When things get hard, men around you are going to be your number one asset. It's always been that way. When the horde arrived at Vienna, it was brothers with swords who were ready to die by each other that defended the city, and vice versa to attack the city. That's what you're always going to need. Women may be able to say to you, good job, keep going, but they can't do much else. And in the hardest times, you don't have time for motivation. You're motivated by self-instinct and self-preservation. So you can deal with all that crap afterwards. So if you're a man and your primary friend, your best friend, or the person you're relying on the most, or you spend most of your time with is your chick, that's fine. But you're going to regret that when things get hard because you don't have any real backup. I spend most of my time with my guys. And I love my women with all my heart, but my team comes first because they're the ones who will save me. They're the only ones who can save me if I really need saving.
Push comes to shove.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So brotherhood's the most important thing. And money's another important thing like I talked about. But I don't know. It's how do you in this clown world, how do you survive? Like I said earlier, you need the brotherhood because of the reasons I just gave, and you need to have money to get on the highest socioeconomic ladder, and you need God. And besides those three things, I can't find another answer for it because every time I've ever tried to rely on the education system, the financial system, the judicial system, every time they failed me. Every time I've learned what it is. You know what most people don't understand? All of these things, all the systems I've just named, the medical system, we just learned what scam that was. Get your 9th booster. Fucking clown world. All of these things are just people walking into a room and saying things. And people are fallible. Think how many people you know who are idiots. Cool. That's those people who you think are idiots are the systems I just described.
Yep.
The education system is just someone standing there talking. The judicial system is someone standing there talking. The medical system is someone standing there talking. Just idiots walk into rooms. They've got a badge. The justice system, the police, the prosecutor, who doesn't realize he's doing no good for anybody, that he believes fallacies, that he's destroying people's lives, and he's not a good person. He's actually the bad guy in this story. He's actually the bad guy in this story. Without enough self-awareness, look in the mirror and go, I'm a fuck up. He's going to sit there and go, I'm the good guy, I got this badge.
Yeah, but that's just...
They're just idiots. Dummies. And then they're sitting there and go, oh no, we live in a fair world and the law is fair and school's good. They're dummies, bro. What's even scarier is all of these people are not only fallible, but they're very human. And what scares me about the moral decay of the world is that all of these people are involved in the moral decay. So, for example, as certain ideas, let's take one that's a bit vanilla so this podcast doesn't get banned. I could choose one of 20. I'm going to choose a vanilla one. Pornography. It's vanilla. As pornography becomes prevalent, I don't care Because I don't watch pornography. I don't watch porn. Why would I? I ain't even got time to service my women as it is. I'm busy. So the last thing I have time for is that garbage. But then most people don't sit and go, oh, but that means your judge watches a bunch of porn. Your lawyer watches a bunch of porn. Teacher of your kids watches a bunch of porn. The police officer who's arresting you for being a bad person was jerking off last night to a bunch of porn. All these people who you need to rely on, who are authority and strong, moral, upstanding characters, and Mr. Dickhead with his badge.
They're all a bunch of wankers.
They're all a bunch of wankers. Correct. That's it. And you can take that, you can take porn, then you can take swinging, or you take homosexuality, or you take all these things, or this sexual, all this moral degradation has infected our institutions, right? So you'll stand there in front of a judge, and the judge watches porn, and his wife gets banged by his best friend because they're swingers, and he cross-dresses, and then he's gonna sit there, Judge Honorable, go to jail. Bro, it's fucking scary. It's all fucked. It's all fucked.
Yeah, that is a scary
world.
It's fucked,
bro. It's fucked. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, and I know that all this shit crosses my mind. So when you remove God from society, you live in godless societies. Yeah, you have the moral degradation, but it doesn't just destroy the populace, it destroys the institutions of the populace. That's the worst thing about it. And now we're living in a society which is so brutally corrupt to the core. The World Health Organization says I need 10 injections of poison, otherwise I'm going to die. And all of them jerk off all day. Every night they jerk off. Bro, they do these World Economic Forum, Davos shit. All these people who are in charge of the world, and they all go to Switzerland.
Yep.
I saw something on Twitter. On the days where everyone flies in for these global economic summits, all the world leaders, etc., the local hooker and strip club are booked out. You can't get a hooker on those days because they're all booked in advance. So the people who are deciding what's happening with you are booking orgies, and all their orgies are organized. The people who call me a human trafficker are going to fuck young girls who are sexually abused for money. And I'm a human trafficker. And it's just like, what clown planet are we on? The best hope you have is to believe in God and find some degree of religious ideology amongst the everyday life. That's the best hope you have, is to find a society where people are afraid of God. Because the idea that the people who are in charge of the world, who told the media machine to convince everyone at home I'm a human trafficker to put me in jail, then all fly and have a big conference to talk about inflating the currency on purpose so they can make everybody a slave, and then they book out prostitutes who were probably touched as kids, and then they fuck them in massive orgies doing God knows what, and I'm the bad guy, and this is all supposed to be okay, and it's all acceptable, and if I mention it, Mr. Plaud, the police officer who also jerks off the Pornhub, is after me with his other prosecutors who all jerk off in the room. It's just like, bro, the world's a mess. The world's a mess. It's a mess. I don't have the answer to these things besides brotherhood and money. If you have brothers you can rely on of strong, upstanding character, and you have hundreds of millions of dollars and you believe in God, like me, you can resist. I'm not winning.
Aikido.
I'm not winning. I'm just good at getting hit. That's all it is. I'm not beating these people. I'm not stopping them coming into my house. I'm not stopping them arresting me. I'm not stopping them locking up my baby mama. All I'm doing is I'm good at getting punched in the face and smiling. I'm good at getting hit. I'll become tough. That's it. If you get these things, you can resist the oppression with your Aikido. You can take a shot and you can smile back. But that's the best you can hope for. If you haven't got those things, as soon as you get hit once, you're out. And it's done. It's over. And then we go deeper down the rabbit hole. Because deeper down the rabbit hole is, then you learn. One of the biggest things the Matrix tried to do is when they try to isolate you, most people don't understand the effect these kind of Matrix attacks has on the average man's relationships with people. If you're a man with a normal job, and you're doing the normal thing, and you're in the middle, and you're following your job, and you get caught up in some bullshit or whatever, or you tell too much truth and you lose your job, when you lose your job, you only have 2 months until you lose your marriage unless you get another job. You're going to lose your wife. You're going to lose your kids.
They're going to make your whole life fall apart.
100%. When you go to jail, I heard it on the jail phone. Number one argument I heard on the phone in jail was women yelling at their men, how am I supposed to pay the bills? Because women are self-interested. Women are survivors. Me. They're selfish.
Yep.
You're in jail. How do I pay the bills? And the man's like, yeah, I'm in jail. What do you want me to do about it? Well, you're always hanging out with your friends on the street corner, and that's why you're in jail. That's not why I'm in jail. That's nothing to do with it. You've made that up. Well, I can't pay the bills. Then 6 months later, she's fucking someone else and he kills himself. That's what happens, right? So deeper down the rabbit hole is, not only does the Matrix try and destroy you financially, destroy your influence, destroy your reputation, but they also understand that they do this to you heavily enough.
It trickles down in every single aspect of
every
your
other
life.
aspect. I'm fortunate because of my brutal competence and because I'm so charming and lovely and I've got a long Johnson that my women have dedicated themselves to me for life. That puts me in a very fortunate situation. Most men are not in that situation, which actually ties back. I wonder if PC Plod works this out. If I understand that I'm going to be under matrix attack for the rest of my human years, and the chance of me going to jail is 100%, and I can't resist the forces of evil, I'm just good enough at getting hit that I can stay standing because my Aikido is masterful, and I find a woman I'm truly in love with, why the fuck would I not buy her golden facials, dipshit? Duh! Duh! That's what I'm... Duh!
Case solved.
Yeah, duh! Of course! Because she waits for me if I go to jail. Mind blown. Bro, clown world. So if you're a man and you're out there, please understand, if you have a strong brotherhood and you go to jail, you can send your brother over to your wife and he can lend her money and he ain't gonna fuck her and he's gonna check on her. He's gonna check on the kid because he knows what brotherhood is, and he's gonna check on the kid, and there's gonna be a man they can call if there's trouble, and he's gonna pay the rent, and he's gonna make sure she doesn't do anything stupid either. She ain't gonna be able to cheat or run around because he's around. Everything's under control.
Yep.
If you have money, once again, you can take care of your problems. But if you're a normal dude and you get hit, you get punched, you can't do like me. You can't come on a podcast and make fun of these people and laugh it off. Once they hit you, you're toast. Your chick's leaving you, you're losing your kids, you're losing your house, you're losing your job, you're losing it, you're done, bro. Done. And you ain't getting back up. You're getting knocked out and you're not getting back up. So while you're standing, if you're not preparing yourself for this, you're a fool. You're a fool. Everything I've just told you about the world is completely true, and you know it. So after all of this talking, if you don't have the motivation to get rich still, then you're born to lose. You're just born to lose. Then I don't know what to say to you. Wash my car.
Goes back to that.
Wash my car. I don't know what else to say to you. Go wash it. Because you're a fucking loser.
Andrew, I know you spent your time in jail reading the Quran, right?
Correct.
I want to know, did you ever get time to read the stories of the prophets?
You know what I found most interesting about the Quran?
You'll see what I'm tying into in a second. But go on.
I don't want to get this wrong. I hate getting things like this wrong. But I think it says day 365 times, or days 365 times, and day 30 times as many as there is in a month. And it says month 12 times. And there was all these language patterns inside of it, which it's incredible.
One of the miracles I find fascinating is Allah mentions in the Quran, you know, the ratio of land and water is 71% water, and I think 71%, and the rest of it is land. God mentions in the Quran, it's that exact ratio. Land is mentioned X amount of times, and water is mentioned X amount of times. It gives you the exact same ratio as it is.
And it was recited over 20-something years or something. It's completely incredible. Even to remember to use the word month only 12 times across 20-something years of recitement, 26 or 29 years. It's incredible to me.
So, but what I was going to ask is, with things that the Prophet said back in the day, you know, there will be a time where all these agendas are taking place, and people at the time would be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like, nah, man, can't be the case. You know, you got LGBT and all this sort of stuff, and you know, at the time that seemed absurd. So, do you look at it now with obviously life you've experienced and think he's right?
Oh no, absolutely, he's right, and
you see it probably more firsthand than any of us.
The problem is,
I'm talking about people selling their souls. I'm talking about all of it.
So first, let's talk about me selling my soul, because I want to make this very clear. I keep saying this, and I want people to know at home how this works. I was offered to sell my soul. So let me explain to everyone at home exactly how this works. You don't become the most Googled man on earth without them trying to control what you say. The reason all these stupid superstars say the same garbage and don't speak out against injustice and didn't speak out against COVID and don't tell the truth about anything and don't have any interesting opinions that could actually save people from slavery is because they've sold their souls. And typically you have to sell your souls to become famous. You sell your soul on the ascent, and they won't allow you to become famous unless you do that. I broke the matrix. So once I was already famous, they wanted to control what I said. And it's very simple how it works. They come to you with a sponsorship contract for a large company. And that large company will offer you let's say hypothetically, let's imagine there's a guy called Top G, and imagine they will offer him 50 million. And they will say, you will take 50 million, but to make sure the brand is represented well, you're going to wear certain clothes, you're going to dress a certain way, and you're going to have certain opinions. You're not going to talk about this, you're not going to talk about that, you're not going to talk about this. If you're asked about Israel-Palestine, you're on this team. And if you're asked about transgenders, you're on this team. If you're asked about things, you change your opinion, and you have to have all these opinions to represent the brand under the brand integrity guidelines. And the good thing about this sponsorship contract is, us as a brand, we spend huge amounts of money advertising in these particular media outlets, which means the media will talk good about you. They'll stop lying about you. They'll stop telling the world you're bad. They'll protect you because they can't insult you because we pay for them via advertising. So what they're basically saying is, we'll get the media to stop talking bad about you. We'll give you a bunch of money, and you'll say what we want you to say, and you become a puppet and a mouthpiece for the Matrix.
So they didn't say this directly, though, did they?
They told me I would have a sponsorship contract. They told me I would have certain opinions to protect the brand integrity guidelines. They told me that I would have favorable reviews, favorable outcome from the media because they sponsor the media outlets. So that's what they say. And they offer you the contract, and you can say yes or no.
So how do you know that that was a form of selling your soul, as opposed to that just being a sponsorship deal, big money? Obviously, they want to protect their brand. So when I say sell your soul, I'm talking about literally selling it to the devil.
Oh, okay. Literally sitting here in front of millions of people and telling everyone it's okay to be transgender. Isn't that selling my soul? Whether I do it for a company or for the devil?
No, it is, it is.
It's selling my soul. And they tried to get me to sell my soul. When I said no is when I started saying on podcasts, I'm going to go to jail. And guess what happened?
So this was a while ago then?
Yeah, it was a while ago, yeah. Because the only way they got away with the insanity of putting me in jail for no reason was after they spun up the media machine to convince people I'm a bad person first. If everyone didn't think I was a bad person, you can't just throw me in jail because everyone would riot and be like, what is this garbage? So they have to use the media machine to lie to you. So once the media machine started kicking into gear, once I declined their offer, I knew what was going to come. I knew it. So that's how selling your soul works. And I want everyone at home to also understand 99% of them have sold their soul. And you need to sit as a human at home and say, am I going to idolize someone? Am I going to support someone? Am I going to respect someone who has sold their soul to the devil, who will tell my children bad ideas, who will ruin my family because I like their music? I mean, they don't care about you. Do you care about them? Please understand, all of the artists you listen to, all those people on Spotify, all those actors you like, all those sports stars, all those Instagram influencers, all those garbage people you follow have sold their souls. All of them. All. And they have done it for their own personal gain, so they can make millions, and they don't care how they damage society by extension. And you are society. So they have decided to damage you to benefit them. Why are you following them? Why are you going to their football games? Why are you watching their music videos? Why are you going to their concerts? Why are you supporting the people who have sold you out? Because they all have. I want to make this, I'm saying this now.
Agree with you
I'm
completely.
the only one they're putting in jail. I'm the only one they're putting in jail. They've all sold you out. If I would have taken that contract, I would have never gone to jail. I would never be labeled a human trafficker. I would never have the bad press. I'd have 50 million extra pounds. I would not have lost 25 million in legal fees so far. My life would be objectively better. My children would be safer. My women wouldn't have their houses raided. All of that, if only I had taken the money. But I didn't.
Do you think once someone sells their soul, they can't get it back?
Absolutely. Once I mean, maybe perhaps you can try and reverse the bad you did, perhaps. But the scary thing about all of this is, once you sell your soul, that's only the beginning. So let's say I said yes. Then I would be invited to a party, which I'd have to go to, part of my contract.
Are you talking about a party on like a private island sort of thing?
Perhaps. Or a party where something happens. And I was there at the time. And there's footage of me there at the time. Something happened and I had to go as part of my contract. And then I'm not told not to tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. And I don't tell anyone because I'm not supposed to and I don't want to get in trouble. But now I have a secret I'm harboring and they know I have it and they're holding it against me and they can blackmail me. And then I get invited to go somewhere else. Do you understand? That's the beginning of it. That's the beginning, my friend. And then you're so far down the rabbit hole that you know the truth. And now, even if you want to tell the truth, how do you redeem yourself? They'll kill you.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll kill you.
When I look at it in the likes of that.
Anyone who's brave enough to face execution to tell the truth is the kind of person who would have been brave enough to say no at the beginning, like me. I'm the kind of person who would tell the truth and get killed, but I'm also the kind of person who would never get there. That's the point. Anyone who ends up there is a fucking coward. And you're sitting at home jerking off to the Super Bowl's halftime show like a dummy and going to concerts when they're in town. Yeah, they're supporting the people who have sold you out like a fool. Because they all have. They all have. Because if the celebrities with massive voices told the truth, which they know to be true about economics,
They'll all have cases.
about finance, they'd all be fucked.
Yeah.
They'd all be fucked. How do they get away with doing what they get